Okay, and then you've got your average variable cost graph. Okay, this is also new to you guys. Well, this graph is new to you, but it goes underneath the average total cost graph. So what other graph would, if you've got your average total cost? Thank you. This is helpful. Yeah.
So it's right.
Shut down point.
No, I understand the average.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. And then now, you have to listen to me carefully. We've got like 5 minutes to explain this. Okay. So everybody, look at the board, please. Okay. So you've got your marginal cost, you've got your average total cost, your average variable cost, your average fixed cost, if it was here, would start from here and come down here. Are you happy with that? Okay. What line is this called again? Mr. Pod. Mr. Pod. Okay, there he is, Mr. Pod. So that's your first Mr. Pod. Okay. That line is also Mr. Pod. Please don't draw. Please just look at me now. Okay. This is your first Mr. Pod. You then have your second Mr. Pod. You then third Mr. Pod and fourth Mr. Pod. So what I'm trying to show you there is that I'm going to draw different Mr. Pods. But I want to start with the first Mr. Pod. Okay. When I've got the first Mr. Pod, the next thing that I need to find out is my profit maximizing points. JD, how do I calculate my profit maximizing points? Talk to us.
So where MR?
Okay, so MR, here it is, okay, is equal to MC, so it's this point here, right? So if I go to this point here, I will be at this quantity. Are we all happy with that? Okay, now I need to go find what's the side? The cost, okay? So if I go find my cost, and I'm going to just go find my average variable cost, okay? If I go to my cost, I go up to this point there, okay? And then I go up here, Mr. Mabinza, what do we call this? Let's call it 100 Rand. Okay, are you happy? Cost 100 Rand. Now I need to go find what's my read. I've got my costs, I know my profit maximizing position, MR, MC, I know what my costs are, okay, there they are. Now I need to find my revenue, so I go to the revenue curve. Bam, 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 and I go read off my revenue here. And we'll call this 18, Mabinza. What is happening here? What is happening here? How much is my revenue? How much is my cost? Okay? Would you carry on trading if you were a firm?
No, sir.
Okay? Because you're not even covering your average variable cost, which is 100 Rand. Okay? Your revenue is 80 and you're not even covering 100 Rand. Okay, let's move on. Let's draw the second Mr. Pod.
So we can't compare it.
No, not yet, because I don't have enough time to explain. Okay, I'll give you a chance tomorrow too. That's the first one. Now we draw the second Mr. Pod to see if that will be better. The second Mr. Pod touches the average variable cost, so we do the exact same thing. We go find our profit maximizing position, which is MR is equal to MC. It's at that point, that quantity. And now where are our costs, Mr. Mabinza? We go from here, we touch our cost curve, so our costs are still there. Bam, 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 bam. 100. Thank you. Okay. And now we have to go find our revenue bundle. And our revenue is here. Okay. So boom, 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 boom. Our revenue is also 100. So do you all agree that this is the point where the firm needs to start producing? Anything below this point is called the shutdown point. Why? Because we are not covering all our variable costs. Does this make sense, gents? Okay, let's quickly, before you take questions, let's look at the third Mr. Pod. What do we find here, Mari? MRMC. Where's MRMC? Right there. MC, MR. Profit maximizing points. Okay? Next thing, we have to go look at our costs, which are here at 100, but now our revenue is 120. We now start making money. Draw another Mr. Pod. Okay? Profit maximizing position, MRMC. Okay? Our costs are still, variable costs are still here. But now our profits is at 140. So we're producing. Okay? Another Mr. Pod. All of these are Mr. Pods. Mr. P. Mr. P. Mr. P. Mr. P. Okay? Right? We find our profit maximizing points. Now, look at this. Now, not only are we covering our average variable costs, we're also covering our average costs, and we have a revenue that is much more higher at 160. That is economic profits, okay? And that is even more economic profits at the end. But now the secret with this whole thing is that this is actually the supply curve. Why the supply curve? You know the supply curve? Left to right. Okay? You've always known it like this. Okay? Now you see why it's like this. This is actually a supply curve because this tells you that the firm starts supplying stock from this point and limited. Perfect timing, perfect now. Shutdown points. Are you all happy? We'll pick it up tomorrow, gents. Thank you.